Instant noodles, also known as packet ramen. They're super easy to make and super convenient to have on hand, but sometimes eating them on their own can be a little bit basic. So in this video, we're going to upgrade it a little bit simply with some ingredients like eggs and vegetables, but also upgrading our broth game using the prepackaged broth, but also with the help of some cornstarch or collagen powder. To make it as streamlined as possible, we're just gonna go with an order that kind of incorporates the other things in with the regular instructions of what we're gonna use today, which is the iconic Shin ramen. So the package direction says 2.5 cups of water. We're gonna do 3 cups of water because we're gonna cook the eggs in here first, and that will account for evaporation as it happens. We'll do eggs 3 ways in this case, 1 hard-boiled, 1 soft-boiled, and then 1 poached directly in it as the noodle cooks. So I have here a filled saucepan, and once it comes to a boil, I'll just add in my eggs, 6 minutes for soft-boiled and 8 minutes for hard-boiled, just depending on how you're feeling that day. While the eggs are cooking, you can go ahead and make your cornstarch slurry if that's what you're using, just equal parts cornstarch to water, and you don't even need that much, maybe like 1 tablespoon of each. You have to use cold water because otherwise if you use hot water, the cornstarch will gel, which is not what you want at first. Just put it in a jar and shake it to incorporate. It might separate after a while, but that's okay. Just give it a good shake to mix it all up right before you add it into your broth. And when your eggs are done, just put them into an ice bath or just some cold water to stop their cooking. And then take that boiling water and measure out the amount that you need for your ramen. In my case, it's 2.5 cups, because why waste time and energy waiting for a whole new pot of water to boil? Go. If you don't live in America, you're gonna want to wash your eggs first. In the United States, our eggs are washed and cleaned on the surface, so just boiling them in with the rest of your noodles doesn't seem as gross. Obviously, if you have chicken poop on your eggs, don't do this. Cook your eggs separately. With the water boiling, all you do is just cook it to the package instructions. Add in your soup base as well as the, what do we call this? The grainy bits. Oh, it always happens, right? It evaporates up there, and then it's spicy. Add in your noodles, as well as your vegetables. Set that on top and cover. There we go. Cover. Cook for the amount of time as you like your noodles. In my case, it's 4 minutes. Buying drugs on the black market used to be such a harrowing experience, but thank God I don't feel that way anymore, thanks to NordVPN. For legal reasons, that was a joke, but while I have you here, if I could convince you to pre-order my cookbook, Kung Food by John Kung, I would really appreciate it. You will see recipes like the ones that you are about to see with the ginger scallion noodles and the ginger scallion egg, but you will see them applied into other recipes that aren't in this video, such as a ginger scallion egg BLT, but also using Spam. We're also gonna use the ginger scallion oil as a sauce for tons of dumpling recipes that are in the book. Pre-orders are actually a really important part of the whole book process, as I am learning really fast. So if you were ever planning to get this book, I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out if you just went ahead and pre-ordered it from your favorite online bookstore, or even just request it from your local bookstore. Thank you. After 2 minutes, you can uncover it. Your vegetables have already steamed, and at this point, if you're gonna add an egg directly into it, with about a minute left, you can go ahead and just crack it in directly. And now the actual upgrade part to the broth. A lot of cheaper ramen shops will use cornstarch slurry into their broth to make it thicker and more luxurious or velvety. That's kind of shady if you were a ramen restaurant, but this is just instant noodles at home. So why not just do it then? Just give it a drizzle, give everything a stir, a very light mix so you don't crack your egg, and that will instantly thicken your broth to something that is a little bit more substantial. You can even see by the way that it's bubbling, the bubbles are a little bit more firmer, your broth is a little bit more thick, and it will stick to your noodles way better. And after 4 minutes, you just simply pour out, dish out. It's stuck to the thing. And after 4 minutes, just simply dish out. Either hard-boiled egg or soft-boiled egg. A lot of people assume that the soft-boiled egg is automatically superior to a hard-boiled egg, but really it just depends on where you like your yolk. If you want the ooey gooey yolk to go into the noodles, you can go ahead and make a soft-boiled egg and have something luxurious and velvety and delicious like that. But if you want to incorporate your yolk into the broth and have the powdery yolk mix in for a richer and more luxurious broth, you can go ahead and use hard-boiled egg and mix it in with your soup that way. But as you can tell with the cornstarch, this thing is, my hands are so slippery. There we go. But as you can tell with the cornstarch, the broth is already pretty much sticking to the noodles themselves. I'm gonna try this now. Oh, hot. Oh, very hot and very good, but extremely hot. Ah, that's really good though. I burned myself. I absolutely burned myself. Damn, that's good. And here is the version with the collagen. I used a little less than I would the cornstarch, so it's not as thick, but still a lot more velvety than you would originally have without it. And all I did was just dump in the scoop in between adding the seasoning packet and the noodles and let it all cook together. And it still turned out great. Hold on, here we go. I should try it though first. I actually think I like the cornstarch one better. Like, the cornstarch one is like thick. This is really, really good, way better than it would be without it, but like, that one's just ridiculously like velvety. Maybe if I added 2 scoops of the collagen to this, it would be the same, but I wanted to be a little more conservative just to make sure that everything worked, and it did. Either way is great. Collagen obviously gives you a little bit more of a nutritional boost, but yeah, there you go, there's your upgrade.